Hello everyone, it's Miss Miranda back with another video for us. Today we're learning about complementary and analogous colors. First we're looking at complementary colors. Complementary colors, colors that are across from one another on the color wheel. Right here we have our color wheel on our examples. So our complementary colors are red and green, yellow and purple, and blue and orange. Those are our complementary colors. So we can go ahead and take a nice moment to look at these. Analogous colors. Analogous colors, colors that are next to one another on the color wheel. So all they have to be is next to one another. So for our analogous colors, this is my basic color wheel. So we can have pairings like red, orange, and yellow, yellow, green, and blue, blue, purple, and red. Or you can have anything that are any other colors that are just next to each other on the color wheel. All right, and our goal for today is I can create a drawing using complementary and analogous colors. Ooh. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that, guys. All right, so what we're going to be needing to get started is our wonderful piece of paper. You can use crayons, or you can use markers or color pencils, whatever you have available. This is my paper. I folded it in half. You can totally use a full sheet, or you can use half a sheet. I'm using half a sheet. This folded in half, hamburger style, so it's nice and thick. I'm going to make a little color wheel for us, so let's go ahead and wait and watch our color wheel. To make our little color wheel, the colors that we'll be needing are yellow, red, blue, our primary colors. These are our secondary, so we have green, purple, and orange. So all I'm doing is creating a couple little circles. I'm going to make a triangle first using my complementary colors, so I'm going to use my yellow, red, and blue. And I'll use my blue. Just making a couple little circles. So you guys can do this along with me, or you can just sit and watch. So we all know how to make green, and that is using blue and yellow. So I'm going to place that circle in between them. And we make purple using blue and red, so I'm putting that circle in between them as well. And lastly, we all know how to make orange, and it's just that yellow and red. All right, and this is my little color wheel that I made for myself. It is not perfect, but that is okay. It will get our job done. So all I'm doing is taking a black marker, and I'm going to draw in where my complementary colors are. Remember, our complementary colors are across from each other on the color wheel. So my first set that I'm drawing in that are across from each other are blue and orange. And then my next one is green and red. Lastly, it is yellow and purple. Those are my complementary colors. These are my analogous colors. These are colors that are next to each other. So like yellow, orange, and red, red, purple, and blue, and blue, green, and yellow. But it can be any combination of colors next to each other. So it can be orange, red, yellow. It can be green, yellow, orange. They're all next to each other on the color wheel. So those are analogous colors. So now we're going to go ahead and start on our project for today. So like I said before, we can use crayons or markers. I'm using markers. These are the colors I'm using. I'm using orange and blue. That's a complementary color. I'm using red and yellow and green. I don't use purple. I don't know why I showed you guys purple, but that's all right. But as we go on, I will say what colors we are using. The first color I'm going to start using is my blue, and all I'm doing is creating some hills or mountains, and you guys can create those however you like. I'm just using some nice curved lines, and all my little hill shapes will just be nice, beautiful curved lines. They can look any way you like. They can be nice and round. They can have a good squiggle S shape in them. I'm going to leave that up to you guys. You can have them just like this, however you like. So the second color that I had used was orange. The next color I'm going to be using is red. It's just another nice curved line. Remember, your lines don't have to look like mine. You can have them more curved any way you like. These are your lines. Your nice curved lines. The next color I'm going to be using is a green, creating my next curved line. You can see I'm not going all the way up on my page. I'm leaving some space because we are going to have like a little sun. So I used blue and orange, red and green. Those are two complementary colors. And for my next part on my sun, I'm going to create a nice beautiful dot. And then I'm going to create some contour lines around the dot. For my sun, I'm putting a nice big beautiful yellow dot. Yours can be bigger, it can be smaller. This is my sun. There we go. And after that, all I'm doing is creating some contour lines around it. So nice circles, just going all the way around it. I'm not going to go all the way out because I'm going to switch into some analogous colors. So I do this for a little bit with my yellow, and then I'll switch onto with my orange. And then you see me here, I'm going to take my orange and just finish doing those contour lines all around my sky. And then lastly, I close that off with my red. You can see I'm not going into my mountains at all. I'm trying really hard not to. And the lines aren't perfect. They're kind of squiggly, not perfectly round. And here's my red. Getting it all done for us. And closing this part off a little bit too. All right, so you can see here, my analogous colors are yellow, orange, and red. My complementaries are red and green and blue and orange. Last week, remember we learned about contour lines, and so I'm going to be doing the same thing. Our contour lines can be vertical or horizontal. So all I'm doing is drawing these nice lines all the way across my blue section. And remember, your lines can be vertical, horizontal, even diagonal. But you can see once I create a small curve, I keep that consistent all the way through. But your lines can be straighter, they can be more curved, they can be vertical, horizontal, or diagonal. I'm just doing blue, so whatever color my mountain or my little hill is, that's the color that I am creating it. And I'm going to repeat the same thing on my orange mountain. So with this one, I'm just creating some nice curved lines as well. These ones are more horizontal than they are vertical. And I'm just following that same shape all the way through. And you can see here, I am doing the same thing I've done before. These ones are more diagonal, but they're still very curved. So you can have diagonal lines, horizontal, or even nice curved lines like this. Remember, they're describing the shape, so this is kind of like our hand from last week. I go all the way from the top of that line to the bottom of the orange line. You can have these lines really close together or further apart. I kind of like mine a little close together, so it gives that little illusion of being all the way colored in. And I'm going to repeat for my green side. I'm going the opposite way this time with my little diagonals. I'm going to do this all the way across. All right, so after you are done with all of this, then you are completely done. This is mine. Yay! So what we get to do next is I'm going to let you add all the details you want in this. I like to add all my details in with a nice black marker. So I'm going to add some trees. You can add trees. You can add some birds. Your trees don't have to look like mine. You can do them however or whatever you'd like for your details. But these are mine. I'm doing some nice trees, and I'm going to draw some nice birds, and I'm going to draw a little rabbit. But you can add any animals or anything you want on your landscape that you want. These are now yours, so be creative and show me what you can do. And here's my little bunny. He is not perfect, but he's all right. He's just some little dots. All colored in. There's his little tail. Ooh. Oh, I have nothing else to add. But you can add anything you like. All right, guys. So I hope you had a lot of fun doing this, and I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye, and have a wonderful week. And I hope you guys all send me photos of these, so make sure teachers, you can email them to me and sign your name. I always forget about that. Please sign your name. Always sign your work. First name, last name, and the year, 2021. All right, guys. Goodbye, and thank you so much for being with me.